at least a month after the first circuit. But Alania managed to convince me to go right back out all the way back on October 8th. Don't ask me how she did it. I know I was pretty resolved to taking a month off. She just... She had a really compelling argument. Let's just say. Regardless, we are home now. Back in Blossoming Mount. It must have been 3 or 4 months since we've last been here. At first, it was just gonna be a second circuit throughout the forest. And I get a couple of the border towns this time. But those second 40 days went by so fast. I don't know. I didn't. At that point, I was energized. I didn't want to stop. After we did the final forest speech, I confided in Alania that I wanted to do more. I finally felt like I was seeing her vision. She contested that idea that I understood her, saying that no one sees things how she does. Regardless, after we finished up in the forest, we spent a month in Shinlawless, sneaking all around the planetary capital. I think we probably knocked out some 20 events or so just in the little capital. It was honestly pretty impressive. Following that, we went to the Candy Mountains, back to where I'm from. Since I'm technically still the acting governor there, I felt it was fine to continue our tour in that region. It's not like there's any other leader that turned us away like Docta has. Despite getting planetary support for Papalia, Docta remains opposed to our movement. He completely and utterly fails to see the importance of our work, going so far as to be misguided enough to ban our faith throughout the entire desert. He falsely claims that we're the misguided ones, that no one can be truly divinely protected like I am. But Doctor doesn't get it, and non-believers have no place in our movement. In the Candy Mountains, I must have given another 15 speeches or so. I think we ended up being on the road for a total of about 100 days. And it was both exhausting but exhilarating. On the one hand, it's been like 5 months of constantly being on the road now. Ever since that first speech back on the first anniversary of the war ending. It would have been fun to pause at least over the holidays. Maybe stop back in Shinlawless so I can spend the solstice in my arcade. It's okay though. Getting to meet all my citizens for the first time in basically a year has been what's kept me going. It's been really special, heartwarming, meeting everyone, hearing their stories, healing their pain. Support for Axolaris leadership has never been this high. Even the small population in the tundra have been receptive to us. Illyria was weary at first, but welcoming. I think ultimately she realized that the size of her populace wasn't worth arguing against the queen, especially the queen with the support of one of the other governors. Population-wise, last I heard, I think nearly the entire planet, outside of those in the desert, have been converted to Papalia. It's the most unified Axolaris has ever been. Finally, for the first time since the war ended, it feels like we've all been on the same page again. For the most part. And I Alania. It's like she knew exactly where to go, who to talk to. I got to ride around in my carriage without a concern, while she carted around hundreds of chairs and thousands of pounds of produce from the forest so that we could keep feeding the planet. It's truly a campaign built from the ground up on the basis of love and good, of providing healing. And Alania and I, we've grown about as close as two people can be throughout this trip. Sometimes, she almost reminds me of Delilah. Between the nightly debriefs when she stops into my room, the consistent companionship, the healing she brings, so much about her is just like Delilah. She's so kind and pure. Truly one of the best there is. Where Delilah helped me heal my physical body, Alania has been healing my spirit. I worry that my mind conflates the two of them into Alania sometimes. That my feelings of possible of intimacy are getting confused. Do I really feel anything for Alania? Is it possible for one heart to love two people? Would my fellow Axolaris be accepting of something like that? Sometimes, the ruminating questions keep me up at night, confusingly accompanied by Alania's soft, quiet breaths as she sleeps in the corner of my room. I'm not sure if she does it to stay close to me or to protect me. But just that she is thinking of me enough to want to be here for any reason. It's special. She makes me feel so seen. Lets me know I'm heard. Sometimes, I feel like she almost knows what I'm gonna say before I say it. And yet, she's always sitting there with bated breath, hanging on every word I say, as if it's holy writ. Alania shows me what true devotion looks like. She has made me love myself again. Love my appearance again. She is what I focus on in the face of opposition from my advisors and doctor, the former of whom have been trying to remind me why I originally went to the forest. That being trying to get an end to Alania's movement in the first place, not join it. My advisors have been swearing up and down that this is crazy. But if I can't quite see the full picture yet, then they're entirely blind to the reality that's unfolding before their very eyes. I don't care what they think. Doctor, however, it doesn't matter. I know that what we're doing is right. I mean, how could it not be? Everywhere I go, hundreds of citizens approach me to say how much it has meant to them to hear that their queen has PTSD from the war, to know they aren't alone. Feuding neighbors have confided that they've moved past their squabbles in the name of togetherness, just like I've been saying to do. We're feeding and clothing the masses at every speech we perform. Anyone that's opposed to that is simply not who I thought they were. We're doing great work, Elenia and I. The biggest issue we've run into recently is the lack of facilities. Nowhere's really prepared for the crowds we've been drawing. Elenia helped me realize that the answer is to build our own infrastructure. Big, beautiful buildings dedicated to me and other survivors or casualties of the Civil War. Complete with stained glass windows as well. It's going to be the first big combination art memorial project of my tenure. And I'm really excited for it to begin. Some funds might need to be diverted from other sectors. Minor things like sanitation and festivals. But it will be worth it in the name of healing. I know my fellow Popolians will understand. At least based on how they've spoken about me to me. Our movement is only going to continue to grow. And I know that soon I'll be able to fully see Elenia's vision. We are doing good things everywhere we go. We, the followers of Popalia, are the rightful heirs to Axolaris. I delivered my people from their suffering at the hands of the council, and I was chosen by them to lead. No one has had my luck, my skill set. No one else, then, is better prepared to lead a new movement, a faith-based movement. I mean, nearly no one else in all of our planet's history has ever been so divinely guided and protected. Maybe Mariah and her fireballs, if you believe she was real. More and more I've doubted her existence less and less. I really think Elenia might be right. That sometimes holy people can exist. I'm so lucky to have found someone as smart as her to help me reach my full potential. It's like she knew my fate before I did. I know I am ready to see her full vision. Then, together, we'll know how to move forward. It's hard being kept in the dark by her. But I also don't want to be unprepared like she said I have been so far. I think I will try and talk to her about it in a few days. See if I'm finally ready. Maybe there's some kind of ritual of sorts I need to go through first. Elenia knows best, so I will just keep following her instructions. Together, we will heal the planet through unity and faith.